What's up, guys? Nate, Famous Racing Customs here. First of all, I'd like to thank the few people that have commented. It's only been a day, so I mean, not a whole lot of people have commented. One of them, though, was Dr. Cranky, and thank you, Dr. Cranky. You know, you're one of the first people I started watching on building model cars on YouTube. And there's a select few that at that time there was Dr. Cranky, Dave Parker, Fast Jimmy 71, Big Boonsky, Scale Car Models, and those were the five for me that I watched the most of. Um, and Dr. Cranky is kind of like a god in my book amongst the car model world. Um, he can do amazing things with those model kits. And so to have somebody like him actually comment on my page and say that I'm got great progress going on, and he likes the way how my truck is looking is, I mean, it's kind of like, in the big car world, it's kind of like having somebody like Boyd Connington or Chip Foose come over and say, "Hey, man, I like what you've done with the customization of your car." That's how it is in my book. Some of you guys may think I'm a little ridiculous, and that's fine. You guys can think I'm ridiculous all you want, but that right there, you guys can say all you want. I feel like I'm a badass right now. So, uh, but thank you guys, everybody who's commented on the video last night. Trying to take my time and not do so many projects at once. Two I think is going to be about my limit at the same time, and that's only because, like, I can't just do one, because as I'm waiting for things to dry, like glue or paint or whatever, I get fidgety, and then that's where all my mistakes happen. So if I have another one that's a little bit behind, then I'll work on that one for a little while, and then I'll just kind of jump back and forth. I think that's going to have to be my style from now on. So, anyways, out here on this beautiful Friday morning, and I don't know if you can hear it, but the birds are out, they're chirping, it's beautiful. It's not very, the W word, W-I-N-D-Y, so I don't like saying it because it usually brings it right on in when I'm trying to do something. So I decided it's in the 60s today, so I decided that I was going to try to come out here and do a little painting with my airbrush. As you guys saw with the 67 Chevelle Pro Street, I had it in primer, and I showed you guys what the color was going to be, which was that spoiled first class only nail polish. And so I came out here, and I wasn't sure that I even had any lacquer thinner. Luckily I did, but before I found it, I decided I was going to try to do a little experiment and see if what I did have work. I use the last vehicle that I painted. I used waterborne colors and a waterborne top coat, but I used an acrylic base for the last vehicle that I painted. So I had some acrylic enamel reducer. So I just thought, well, let's just try a little experiment to see if that would work. So I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, but here, let's just go out to my truck here. All these are, no, there you go. You can see it's chunks. You shake it up and it almost instantly separates, and that's not something you want when you're trying to reduce paint. So there's that one. Let me go get. So the stuff that I use, I do have a can of Hot Rod Black, which is just basically it's just flat black, but I have a big jug of Hot Rod Black. I was gonna paint my Suburban with, So I have went down to the paint supply store where they do where I get pretty much all my automotive stuff from, and that's why I don't paint too many cars. Usually, it's a friend of mine who's in need of a quick touch up more than anything. I'm not a body man, but I mean I can lay down a little bit of paint. So, any of you guys who've seen my truck know that I'm not a body man, because no real body man would ever let their vehicle just sit rusty like that. So, but anyways, so this is what I use, and this is expensive, but it's the best stuff out there that I've ever used. Some people may think that that I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's fine, because I may not know what I'm talking about, but so far what I've used, this is the best stuff. It's this Cumberland, the CP10 Fast Dry Lacquer Thinner, and this is the reason why I get it, is because it's 100% virgin solvents. So, it works really, really good. It does have a little bit of acetone in it, which worries me just a tiny bit. But I've got a good amount of primer down on the car, and I got to actually go through and wet sand a little bit. So let me show you the difference in result here. First of all, see how there's no separation? It just stays perfectly flowing in there. That's what you want. That's what you want it to look like. So, and I don't have all my filters or anything like I wanted. Somebody apparently has gone through, a friend of mine or whatever. I'm a pretty nice guy. My friends can come over and pretty much use and borrow whatever. I don't ever really have a big deal with it. So it looks like somebody came over and raided all my paint filters. So, so I don't have paint filters right now, which kind of sucks. And I would do the old coffee filter trick, but it's got sparkle in it, and if you use a coffee filter, a heavy filter like that, it's going to catch all that flake. And the flake's not too heavy. Yeah, it's not too heavy, but at the same time, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of worried about it. But we'll just have to see what happens. So, and then I'll give you guys a quick little tip on saving your paint. I'm planning on saving that paint, and I'm not going to use it all on my Chevelle, because I think that would be a little bit of overkill, using all of that paint on the Chevelle, especially through an airbrush. So, like with most all paints, the curing agents are air activated, meaning that gets trapped in, like if you ever opened up an old can of paint and how it's got a layer of, I mean, like it's a solid layer on top. It's because there was air trapped in the paint, and it got to the paint, and you know, whatever. So if you have like a butane torch, butane is heavier than air, and it will actually displace air. So what you'll do is you'll just kind of blow some butane in there for about 5 seconds maximum, 5 seconds. Then take like a piece of plastic or whatever and seal it. Anything you can use that'll create an airtight seal, really, and then cap it off, and then you can store it, because there's no air now. There's a barrier of that butane in between, and the butane will not activate the curing agent in paint. So there's my little tip and trick for the day. So, but anyways, I gotta go and do a quick wet sand, and get to testing out what this is gonna do on my Chevelle. I hope everything works out great. Fingers crossed. So, either way, you guys will get an update. So, Nate, Famous Racing Customs, signing off.